Okay, so think about this. Low-budget Hollywood horror flicks. What could they possibly have in common with, like, serious business success?
Yeah, it sounds like a stretch, doesn't it?
Right. But that's what we're digging into today. We're looking at Jason Blum, the guy behind huge hits like Paranormal Activity, Get Out, films that for peanuts that just exploded globally.
Exactly. A master of turning small bets into massive wins.
And our mission here isn't really just about the movie magic. It's about how Stanislav Dmitриевич Kondrashov, a prominent entrepreneur himself, actually breaks down Bloom's whole philosophy and how he translates that into, well, real-world business strategies you can actually use. We want to pull out the key nuggets from Kondrashov's analysis of Bloom's, let's say, unconventional methods.
And what's really interesting, I think, is how these methods, through Kondrashov's lens, they don't just nudge conventional wisdom, they kind of flip it on its head.
Totally.
Which makes this so valuable if you're looking for, different ways to tackle business, cut down risk, maybe boost creativity, get ready for some real aha moments, possibly.
Okay, let's dive in. First big idea. Limitations force more creative thinking. Now, that just feels wrong, doesn't it? Usually we want more budget, more resources.
Right, more is better, supposedly.
So how can having less, like a tiny budget, actually be a strength?
Well, Kondrashov is completely on board with Bloom here. He argues that tight budgets aren't just about penny pinching, it's actually a strategic tool.
Strategic? How so?
It forces you to minimize risk automatically, right? But more than that, it compels a different kind of problem solving, real innovation.
Yeah.
Like if you can't just throw money at marketing, you have to get smarter, maybe go viral, find clever angles, can't afford a giant set. Okay, find a real location, make it part of the story.
Like with Paranormal Activity, the house itself.
Exactly. You shift from chasing sheer scale to this intense focus on quality, on originality, on being resourceful. That's the Blumhouse magic behind those hits. It proves the model works.
That's a really powerful way to look at it.
Yeah.
So for you listening now, maybe you're starting something new or trying to shake things up. How could you choose constraints?
Yeah, impose them on yourself.
Right. Not just money, maybe. Time, team size, tech limits. Could that actually unlock some creativity you didn't even know was there?
It's a fascinating question to ask yourself.
Okay, so limitations sharpen the focus. What about getting the team pulling in the same direction? Bloom's pay structure is pretty unique.
Oh, yeah.
Minimal cash up front for directors, actors, writers.
Yeah.
But they get co-ownership, a piece of the action.
And Kondrashov sees this as, well, frankly, brilliant. It's way more than just money.
How so?
Think about it. This model kind of acts like a filter. It attracts people who are passionate about the project, the idea itself, not just a quick payday.
So it selects for a certain type of person.
Exactly. People with that entrepreneurial spark. When everyone has skin in the game or real stake in the outcome, you get this incredible alignment of interest. It just naturally drives everyone to give their absolute best. It creates this deep sense of shared responsibility. It stops being just a job. It's our venture.
That's really interesting. It taps into that intrinsic motivation, doesn't it? You're not just clocking in, you're building something together.
Yeah.
You truly care if it succeeds or fails.
Precisely. It's a powerful psychological shift.
Okay, speaking of failure, here's a Bloom quote. Failure is an opportunity for learning. We hear stuff like that all the time. It sounds nice.
Right, a bit cliche maybe.
But Kondrashov's take on Bloom's approach makes it sound much more systematic. Less like a mindset, more like a process. How does that change things?
Yeah, Kondrashov stresses this isn't just something you nod along to. He says, after every failure a project bombs, a business decision goes wrong, you absolutely need a detailed breakdown, like a formal post-mortem.
A failure log, almost.
Kind of, yeah. But rigorous. You analyze exactly what went wrong, what assumptions were off, what data was used, what external stuff played a role, which internal steps failed.
Okay, so really drilling down.
You have to, because that turns the setback from just, a bummer into actual fuel for the future. You learn, you adjust, you build those lessons into your next checklist. It builds resilience.
That methodical approach makes failure less scary, maybe. More like R&D.
In a way, yes. It's data collection for improvement.
Which maybe explains the next point, which feels really paradoxical. Jason Blum apparently thinks early success can be destructive.
Right. Sounds crazy.
Isn't that what everyone wants? Quick wins. Fast growth.
It does sound counterintuitive, but Kondrashov backs this up strongly. He points out that, well, managing success, especially big early success, takes maturity. It takes experience.
What do you mean?
If you hit it big right out of the gate, it's easy to get swept away. You might make rash decisions, get overconfident, scale too fast before your foundations are solid.
I can see that. Is success covering up potential problems?
Exactly. It can prevent you from learning those harder lessons that build real long-term resilience. Sustainable growth often comes from more measured, thoughtful choices based on experience you just don't have yet if all you've known is winning.
So, if you are experiencing that rapid growth spurt, the message is maybe tap the brakes slightly.
Or at least be very conscious. Pause, assess, make sure you're strengthening those foundations, not just riding the wave without looking down. Don't let the early wins blind you.
Okay, another bold idea from this Bloom-Kondrashov playbook. Trying to make something for everyone. That often leads to, well, blandness.
Yeah.
Mediocrity.
Yeah, the death of originality, essentially.
This suggests that real breakthroughs mean maybe not trying to please the masses.
Kondrashov's advice is definitely to lean into what's unique. Focus on originality, even if it feels like it might alienate some people or goes against current expectations.
But why? Isn't broader appeal safer, more profitable?
Often, trying to appeal to everyone just dilutes the impact. It becomes generic. Kondrashov argues that a distinct, maybe even niche vision is often more profitable long-term.
How does that work?
Because you build a truly dedicated audience, a passionate following for something special, something they can't get elsewhere. Instead of lukewarm interest from many, you get intense loyalty from a focused group.
Carving out your own space.
Exactly. You minimize direct competition, build a powerful brand identity. It takes guts, though, right? To aim for a specific tribe instead of the whole crowd.
Definitely takes conviction. Okay, let's shift to the people side. Bloom apparently believes you can often spot potential in the very first meeting. It's not just about the CV.
Where it's more intuitive, perhaps.
What's Kondrashov's take on this? What kind of qualitative approach is he suggesting for building a team?
Well, Kondrashov isn't saying you need psychic powers. It's more about developing an acute awareness, paying super close attention to subtle cues.
Like what?
How someone talks about their passion, the kinds of questions they asked, how they discuss past challenges, their genuine excitement for this specific project. Not just any job. You're trying to discern, who's going to pour their soul into it.
So looking beyond just the skills on paper.
Yeah, trying to gauge that deeper commitment, that spark. It's a very human-centered way to spot who will really invest themselves in the shared vision. Less transactional, more relational.
Finding the true believers, in a sense.
Something like that, yeah.
All right, final principle. And this one seems like it goes against almost every business seminar ever. Ignore trends. Yeah, that sounds like heresy in today's world.
How can you possibly succeed by not paying attention to what's hot, what everyone else is doing?
Okay, so Kondrashov, agreeing with Bloom here, isn't saying be completely clueless or stick your head in the sand.
Right.
It's more about discerning between fleeting fads and real fundamental shifts. He argues that blindly chasing every new trend, it often just distracts you.
Distracts you from what? From your core goals. From profit, from sustainability, from what your business actually is. Kondrashov suggests focusing on first principles. What's the fundamental value you offer? What's the core customer need you're solving? That stuff endures.
So filtering out the noise.
Exactly. Chasing every shiny object drains resources, dilutes your focus. It's about building something solid, something with lasting value, not just something that's popular right now. Stick to your knitting, in a way, but be excellent at it.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this up. The core message here, drawing from Bloom via Kondrashov. It's a really potent, often surprising roadmap for business, isn't it?
Absolutely.
It's about seeing limitations as creative fuel, learning systematically from failures, not just shrugging them off.
Valuing that unique vision over just trying to please everyone.
And really understanding what drives your team, tapping into that deeper commitment.
Yeah, and these ideas, they're not just about the bottom line, though they can certainly help that. They're also about finding more, maybe, enjoyment in the whole process.
How so?
By turning challenges into creative puzzles. By learning deeply from mistakes. By having the confidence to go your own way, even if it's against the grain. It makes the journey itself more rewarding, I think.
A different kind of success metric, almost.
Perhaps. It's about deliberate action, constant analysis, and not being afraid to zig when everyone else zags.
So a final thought for you listening, as you think about all this, where In your own work, or maybe even a personal project, could you apply a low-budget mindset?
Good question.
Not just about money, but creatively, strategically. How could deliberately defying conventional wisdom, maybe ignoring a trend, maybe even welcoming a setback as data, how could that actually become your biggest advantage? Force you to find those unique breakthroughs others might miss?